whisper.
That's
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hey everyone, it is diaperperv.
And Livewire.
And baby Donny.
And today we're going to talk about the worst and the best things about ABDL. So let's start with the worst things and then we can end with the best things on a high note. So for me, the worst things about this, I guess, community, I use this very loosely, or just ABDL in general, is all the gossiping and negative talk that undermines the fundamental um, and destroys the community, and it kind of eats itself alive. And I know there's like gossip and back talk, like negative talk behind people's backs in every single community. Most of them. I mean, it's literally like a bunch of teenagers working in the mall, and there's no way to get around that because clicks will happen, and then you'll want other people to be on your side. That's just a natural thing, like human trait, I guess. Um, and also cancel culture. And I think that happens especially with the younger people because there are so many things in the outside world that you can't control. So on your social media, you have that control of what you like or don't like, or what you want to see and not see. So instead of opening your mind and seeing other people's opinions, or at least listening to other people's opinions, it's easier just to say, this is horrible, I hate this, and I hate this person, and then cancel them, which in reality, it doesn't really work like that. You just think it does. So it's quite funny. Yeah. What about Donny?
Can I retort to that
Yeah.
a little bit? So I will say that we all have our own experiences in this community, and there are times where you run into people that maybe not don't treat you the best and don't respect you, and
Yes.
sometimes it's better to be we're all adults here, adult baby, so it's like to be the bigger person and not let their words or actions dictate how you move forward. And sometimes it's better just to cut ties and be like, you know what? I learned my lesson, and
Right.
shame on you for treating me that way, but I love myself more
Yeah.
than I love you, so I'm gonna leave. And, go just, you're always busy then, it's like, oh, I'm busy, I'm sorry, I can't, come pick you up to, take you to Chiba Head or something. And, but still, it's like that.
Oddly specific.
It's very specific.
I'm hungry again. But I think that's probably a reason behind the shit talking, or the backstabbing. I don't know if I could say that word on
It's fun,
YouTube.
yeah.
But it's important for us to, like you said, to build each other up instead of tearing each other down. This community is very niche, and we need to, like, we all remember when we didn't think anyone else was into this, and how weird we were,
Right.
and how alone we were. And then once we find this community of people, like you said, there's gonna be idiots anywhere you go. It doesn't matter if whatever. So when that happens to you, let's not tear each other down. Let's just, hey, look, I don't want to be like that person, and I'm going to make a conscious effort to have my actions speak louder than my words, and treat people the way I want to be treated.
Yes, but I have had to make that exact decision.
I digress.
So.
Anything you want to add to that?
I think you're pretty spot on about, we're a small community and we're a niche, exactly what you said, and it only hurts ourselves when we erode that foundation of trust, people bad mouthing each other instead of doing the research and maybe even keeping it to themselves, because if they speak about it, it just blows it up again. So I mean, really everything you said was spot on.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. So what do you think are the worst things about ABDL, Donny?
What did I write there? I guess feelings of shame, exclusion, and self-loathing, and I'm gonna discuss that. Like I said before, when we all first started out in this journey, it doesn't matter if you started out when you're younger or older or whatever, whenever you found that this is your community or a part of one of your communities, before that, it was always really lonely, and it was always like, what's wrong with me? I need to be this person and fit into what society standards say I should be, and like, and it just took a while for my own journey to realize I don't care. Like, what your opinion of me is none of my business. And it's like, I don't care what you have to think about me. You're not paying my bills. You're not rubbing my back. Like, I'm not, it's cool. But until then, it was like, I felt so disgusted with myself. And I'm like, I need to be this guy that, like, is dominant and, like, whatever. But I'm like, I'm a submissive boy. That's just the way I am. And that's okay. And it took a while for me to have that self-acceptance and self-love. But that was the only bad part. It was like more introvertedly, like inward, directed into myself, rather than different like stimuli that I receive in the community, not necessarily.
Right. So what about you?
Well, I want to comment on his.
Please.
and sometimes exactly what you said about the self-loathing. I've seen people where they try to invent and make excuses to like what they like. Like, you don't have to do that to just, pretend you're happy. You can like what you like. If you like diapers, it's okay. You don't need an excuse to like any of that, just have a little confidence maybe. And I know that sometimes it's tough because exactly what you said about feeling alone, like you're the only one in the world or the only one. And then it starts to branch out when you go, whoa, but you don't need an excuse to like what you like. Right. And I get it that it's a battle internally to overcome that. So I get exactly what you said. For me, it's people who are kind of entitled and rude, ABDLs who use poor social skills. It could be writing, it could be just the way that they speak to people. We've all heard the horrifying letters. There's examples on FetLife with people who write 2 words to somebody, or they're copying and pasting on the ABDL girl pictures, the same thing over and over again. Girls can spot that a mile away if something's copy and pasted. And if you're going to be in a rush to communicate with somebody like that, you might not be worth knowing, because how much effort you're going to put into a relationship. So I think you just take the time to really write somebody, and you don't have to jump right into the sex stuff and the fetishes. You wouldn't do that, in a restaurant or a bar. You would speak to somebody maybe about their clothes or music or sports or whatever subject there is before you get to that other stuff. You guys want to comment on anything about that before I go to the next part?
Yeah, actually I do. I was going to ask you a question.
All right.
What do you feel is the base of their entitlement?
I think...
Why do they feel entitled
I think sometimes
to act that way?
Okay, sometimes I think it's because, and it kind of goes with my second point, there are men that just go, oh, I'm a master and submissive women have to obey me without doing any of the research. Or if you're a daddy and you're just using it as a title to try to get what you want, and I think that applies in sometimes how they communicate. They're going straight to the point instead of laying the foundation of the bridge of the relationship,
Right. Well, I think it's just having respect for the other person.
Right, yeah.
When I see that type of bad communication, I just feel like that person doesn't respect them as a human person first.
Right. Or they're blanketing how many number of people, and if they get only one response, they're successful, like a scammer or something.
Okay. I see. Yeah. I think that's like that in every single fetish.
Yeah.
And dating sites too.
Right.
Predators.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all red flag right
Yeah.
there.
anytime there's like any type of power exchange dynamic, I feel like there's always going to be people who try to exploit that or see the
Yeah.
subs as like easy targets or easy pickings.
Right. Because I've seen letters on FetLife that I've actually read, or journal entries, and you know, a girl's talking about, oh, this guy has daddy in his title, and thinks that none of the research is done, none of the how to take care of a person. It's not all about sex. It's not all about the fetish. Sometimes you have to check on their well-being, and I think that a lot of men miss that point. You know, the title doesn't make you a daddy or a master. It's your actions and how you treat the community, your knowledge and experience.
Right, and it's like at the end of the day, it's like I may be a submissive, but I'm not your submissive.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the best things about being ABDL.
Yeah, started out. So I put being accepted and part of a group and self-love. So it's like I was saying before of the negatives, the positive sides is you finding that community, you finding that camaraderie and brotherhood or sisterhood, and being able to share that openly and without fear of repercussions or judgment, really. I mean, people are going to judge regardless, but they're not going to be like, we're the weirdo, you're wearing a diaper, like, oh, you smell like pee. You know, it's nothing. I mean, unless you like that sort of humiliation thing.
Some
which
of
is,
us have
hey,
that fetish.
sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes the baby's got to get some humiliation.
Oh my God, I just rubbed my nose with this vibrator.
But, yeah, I think that, you know, it's having that empathy for each other where you have been there before, so you know how it feels and you want to support someone in their own self-discovery and of themselves, either becoming a daddy or mommy or baby or whatever you want to label yourself as, just finding yourself. And I think that's important for all of us, like I said, to build each other up. And that's like when you see that, it's a beautiful thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's very touching when you see that.
And there is a lot of that. There's more of that than the negative.
Correct. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
see more of the positive. But, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's what, it makes me feel good about the community. Does anybody want to discuss that?
I think you're spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really.
Yay, I'm right again.
Yeah, that's great. So mine is the gratification and acceptance of seeing what you're into in other people. You know, it's sharing love and positivity in our community and culture. Like sometimes when we have the lunch or we have events or things like that, you know, 99% of that is not sex talk. It's, hey, what'd you do last week? Or where did you get that? And there's a lot of talk and a love. And when a lunch works like that, it's truly magical, it's fun, it's enjoyable to be around, there's very little drama. When you're around like-minded people and they're being discreet and they're really cool in public, it just kind of erases all the negativity away that we all hear about sometimes.
You have something to say?
No, so
No, it's
why,
not in the vibrator.
so why did you bring up 99% of the time it's not sex talk? Do you think people think it's gonna be like sexual talk?
I don't think that a lot of people who haven't been to a lunch maybe
Yeah.
know what truly goes on there.
Oh, okay.
You know, and
No.
you
People
know,
can assume things too.
Yeah,
If it's a sexual thing for them, they may assume that it may be a sexual
For everyone.
event, like they're like discussing play
Oh.
dates or something. Or,
right.
I mean, you don't know. I mean, realistically,
I have
you
no
can just
idea.
make assumptions on what people are thinking.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
we talk about dips there, or hey, do you know this one's coming out, or this has got a sale. But we're also asking about, hey, where'd you get those jeans? Or hey, this food that you made is really good. Or what were you doing last weekend? Oh, you were in New York. How cool was that? And just general talk. And it's really refreshing and really cool and magical when it happens like that. And most part it does. So, all right.
Oh, your turn.
Oh, geez. I think the best things about ABDL is that you have the complete freedom of choice to pick and choose what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and what you want to engage with and who you want to engage with. So remember that you always have freedom. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anyone an answer. You don't owe anyone play.
Yep.
You don't even owe, the community really anything, but just to be yourself. And I think the last thing is just the people involved. Like, I've met so many amazing, great people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. And I think you guys would feel the same way.
Absolutely.
Like I know, like, directors and music composers and award-winning people, and really cool regular people too. Like,
hell yeah, Las Vegas has diaperperv.
what? Shut up.
Well, we do. We're lucky.
And hot firemen. And
there you go.
And also other regular people.
Hot firemen. We find them hot and leave them wet.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching this. This has been a lot of fun.
I think I'm blushing. I'm not even sure why.
You're the same color as that.
I think it was just when I said hot fireman.
Yeah, don't edit that part out. That's a good part. Donny and I want to see that part.
No. Okay. Oh, anyways, I hope you enjoyed that and you feel good about yourself.
Thanks for watching. I'm Baby Donny.
Bye.
We'll see you next time. Livewire.